Back again and better than ever. After my disappointing review, which was my Phoenix Wright franchise review, I'm after something that's a little more up to date and actually better, to be honest. It's a little franchise I like to call the No More Heroes franchise. Now, for those of you who don't know what the heck I'm talking about, No More Heroes is a game about is pretty much the modern day beat 'em up game. That also is an adventure game. It's an action game, actually. What I'm talking about is that it's a beat 'em up game in a place called Santa Destroy. You play as a character named Travis Touchdown. He's one of the more pathetic heroes out there. He's a lot like Marv from Sin City. Spends most of his time going to bars, getting drunk, living in an apartment, and just being the overall scumbag. But that's up until he comes across a girl at one of the bars named Sylvia Crystal, a French woman. Wait, is Santa Destroy in France? I have no idea. Anyway, she's a member of an organization called the UAA, the United Assassins Association, which hosts contests to see who's the best assassin. There's rankings, there's fights, there's organized fights, there's even a battle royale. All set up to see who's the best. And so, Travis, you gotta fight your way through tons of assassins and their henchmen. And the amount of assassins depends on which game you're playing. The first game, you fight 10 assassins. In the second game, you fight 50. But one character has a ton and a half of groupies, which make up most of the countdown. So it's pretty much fair enough. So let me just comment on the game itself. Damn, this is one hell of a game. It is right up there with Resident Evil. It's gotta be the bloodiest game I've ever seen in my life. And I freaking want it. I know I sound like a little kid all of a sudden, but this has gotta be the most violent game I've ever seen. It is a lot like Sin City. It's like Sin City crossed with a samurai story and Star Wars. That's because of the weapons that Travis and a number of the assassins use. It's called the Beam Katana, which is really just a video game version of the lightsaber from Star Wars, which is fair. And, well, I don't know if they got sued over that. I mean, after Lucas sold his rights to Disney, I don't think Disney really cares anymore, considering they're having Pixar save their asses. But I'm getting off track. Anyway. Anywho, anyway, gotta remember, where was I? Oh yeah, Travis. Travis's personality is pretty much your basic jock who has a different way of dealing with grief. Now, I gotta have to make this appropriate for my age. He says a lot of people have different ways of dealing with grief. Some people screw at funerals. I cut off heads. Well played, sir. Well played. Anywho, so let me think. What are the other good characters in the franchise? Now, the characters, they're an entirely different story. Sylvia pretty much just starts out as a cold-hearted skank who's just pushing Travis to be the best. Now, she becomes Travis's love interest throughout the series, and they eventually end up tying the knot, which is what Travis wanted since the beginning. But there's a slight twist in the first game that I dare not spoil for you. Now, with as many good assassins as there are, from Bad Girl to Shinobu Jacobs to Kimmy Howell, all the way to Alice, including Charlie and his groupies, there's Millie Young Gunman, there's Destroy Man, New Destroy Man. There's a ton and a half of assassins that I can pick from, just not many I can remember. But the overall worst assassin in the entire franchise, and I'm not talking about worse as in evil, though he definitely is that, but I'm talking in personality-wise, character-wise, fight-wise, everything-wise, is Jasper Bastard Jr. In other words, Jasper Bat Jr. Now, let me think. What did this guy do? Well, he's got the stereotypical annoying voice. He creates a very fakely easy boss battle, which goes from easy to contra difficult and is unsatisfying in the end, because he dies with a big stupid looking grin on his face, because I want this guy to suffer. I want him dead. I want his life. I want his corporation dead. I want his house burned to the ground. I want to go over there and piss on his ashes. Anyway, in other words, I hate Jasper. So, what happens? He's the final assassin you have to fight in the second game. But despite Jasper being one of the worst characters I've ever seen, the rest of the characters already make up for it, including one that kind of got a cult following that's one of the assassins, and he later becomes Travis's apprentice. Her name is Shinobu Jacobs. She's a weird person. She looks African American, but she's got white hair, and I don't know. She's like a white-haired Afro ninja thing. I don't know. But anyway, she's a really unique character who starts out as Travis's rival up until he cuts off his arm. Spoiler alert for this one part. So, cuts off her arm. They have a nice, quiet chat up until he leaves. Leaving Shinobu to suffer without any arm. But she gets to live. In the next game, 3 years later, she comes back, metallic arm, got this old RoboCop kind of thing, and this time she wants to be Travis's apprentice. She wanted to be strong like him after he tried to kill her. Oh well, bitches be crazy. Trust me, a few of the characters actually may fit that bill. Now, of all the assassins, Shinobu's actually gotta have the most personality. I mean, she's cocky, she's egotistical, she can be annoying sometimes, but people have conflicting opinions about her. Either she's annoying or she's really good. She kills 2 of the top 10 in the second game for Travis, and then tries to put the moves on him, and I swear she'd make a better love interest than Sylvia. Because, well, Sylvia's just a skank. So, as for the rest of the characters, as in the assassins, out of all the assassins, I say the female ones are actually better, because the guys are usually egotistical, stupid, annoying, eccentric, or just plain crazy. The female assassins actually show a spark of intelligence. From one of them, named Alice, who is the second to last assassin you fight in the second game, who actually kind of changes Travis's outcome. And his outlook, actually. It changes his outlook on what he's doing. But then by the time he gets to Jasper, all those morals disappear. The crazy ones, like Kimmy Howell, Travis's #1 fan, who is the second one he lets live, the only one of the 2 that he lets live, Shinobu and Kimmy. Probably because Kimmy's just a co-ed and Travis doesn't want to kill her. At least he's got some sanity. Kimmy, however, does not. She wants to have Travis all to herself. In other words, she wants to behead Travis who is, as she calls him, Travis the Great in battle. Well, she provides a decent challenge, and having some kind of Darth Maul flute that turns into dual beam katanas. Now that was cool. Whoever designed the weapons in this game deserves a medal. So, what do I think of this game? It is absolutely freaking fantastic. It is hilarious, it's psychotic, it's bloody, it's violent, it's everything that an action game player would want. It is the bomb. The funny thing is, at the end of the last game, spoiler alert, Sylvia pops out and says, "Too bad there will never be a sequel." Wrong. I guess that was just bait to get people to buy the game. And she even says at the beginning of the second game, more competition. The last game's success made Assassination trendy. They break the fourth wall 1,000,000 times. It's so funny. I don't know. What is it with fourth wall jokes that makes me laugh? I don't know. But I seriously recommend you get these games if you can find them. I know I can't, but maybe you can. Because they are making a third one. And I'm hoping they bring back Shinobu. I mean, seriously. Travis should ditch Shinobu. I mean, not ditch Shinobu. No. He should ditch Sylvia, hook up with Shinobu, and face the truth. I mean, seriously, that's clearly the more credible choice. Ugh. So what do I rate this game? I'm gonna go completely freaking overboard and give it 6 stars out of 5. I don't care if that's against the rules. I don't care. This is probably one of the best games I've ever faced in my life. So, if you're out there and you're listening to this, go out there, find a copy of that game, and play it till your fingers break.